Rolling,
rolling, yeah,
rolling down,
rolling on the river,
rolling on the
rolling,
rolling down,
rolling on the river.
rolling on the
Eat the cake anime. This infamous line lives in the culture like it's funny, until you remember what the cake is covering up. And that's the trap What's Love Got to Do with It sets: triumph and trauma on the same plate. This movie isn't just a biopic, it's a lesson in how trauma becomes a system, one in which multiple people contribute to and power the cycle. Today I want to talk about what this movie taught about love, power, and survival, and why it still hits so hard. I remember watching What's Love Got to Do with It at my grandma's house. I watched the movie completely captivated by what I was seeing on screen. The arms, the sounds, the wigs, the brutality. Wait. No. It was the songs, the dancing, the music, the slaps. One thing I've learned about media is that you can't have your cake and eat it too. You can't have a good story without bad elements. You can't have a feel-good story without tragedy. And you can't have a Tina Turner biopic without the horrendous abuse she suffered at the hands of her husband and musical partner, Ike Turner. So why was I watching this movie when I was barely 7 years old? Before you go judging my parents or the adults in my life that allowed me to watch this, let me set the scene. It's the 90s, and I'm a latchkey kid, which means I basically take care of myself and my sister after school. Babysitter's a weekly rotation of neighbors, friends, and a second caretaker, my grandma Betty. She has her grandbabies all the time, and we watch all the classics. The Color Purple, Good Times, Different Strokes, The Andy Griffith Show, As the World Turns. Not sure why I was watching that last one. But there was one movie that I was obsessed with. So in her back room, I pulled out some Mardi Gras beads tucked away and started to chant. My grandma came in with a quickness. "What are you doing?" Shoot, I was just doing what I saw Tina do. Or who I thought Tina was until I was at least in middle school. Miss Angie Bassett. My favorite actress at that time was The Bassett, the powerhouse scene in Boys in the Hood, Waiting to Exhale, and her major breakout hit of What's Love. When Auntie Ange took on the role of Tina, she was 34 or 35 years old. Not an amateur, but still considered new to the mainstream Hollywood as we know her today. The intensity of her performance seared into my memory for all time. All I knew was that Angela Tina was exactly who she thought she was. There's an opening scene where young Anna Mae is abandoned by her mother to live with her grandmother, who keeps her in church. Tina takes to singing in the church choir and grows up with a desire to sing and be seen. Very relatable. By the time she's a teenager, singing into her hairbrush boils over into her sneaking out to the club for the chance to show off her talent in front of singer-songwriter and regional celebrity Ike Turner. And as they say, the rest is history.
And I keep asking her, "And what is the matter with you? What's wrong?" And it's always, "Nothing." And it would go on for a day or two till finally, "Why the don't you?" And then this is where I would slap her or something. Then she would change her mood or attitude or something.
That was Ike Turner. But this is Lawrence Fishburne. Not only Morpheus, but a mainstay in action movies and TV over the last 20 years. Lawrence Fishburne actually turned down the role 5 times before agreeing to play Ike.
I made this decision that whenever there was violence, whenever Ike was being physically abusive with Tina, that you actually never see it. You never actually see Ike make physical contact with her. There's always something obscuring it. And the reason for that was so that it would be the viewer's imagination, so that the viewer would have to participate in it.
Participating in the abuse. That's why this movie still sticks with me to this day. Even if you enjoy the nostalgia of seeing hit actors at the top of their game, or seeing the victory of Tina, reclaiming her name at the time at the end of the movie,
But only if I get to keep my name.
you participate with your mind's eye as to just how bad this woman's life was. Which got me thinking, how does getting hit in the face over and over again make you feel? How does it feel to be punched repeatedly by the media as it shoves the darkness down your throat? Does it feel like you're being dragged by your hair into new ideas, new conspiracies? Are you fighting for your life in the back of the limo while brain rot scrolls past you? Do you feel your hair being burned off its scalp as you relax into the Beauty Olympics? Every new weight loss drug, cosmetic procedure, a final nip tuck into the anorexia of your mind.
Guess you're gonna leave me now.
That language was harsh, but the truth is even harsher. Tina Turner, bullied into stardom by the person who had groomed her, abused her, and attempted to possess her, is the perfect metaphor for how we are being consumed by our consumption. Eaten alive by predatory culture that profits off of our brokenness and our need for validation. And that's when it hit me. Not like Ike, like Tina. I thought long and hard about why this movie sticks with me, and abuse is overwhelmingly the reason. One of the scenes that is often overlooked when Tina is escaping in the night with her boys, she's attempting to take them on the bus to leave their father. At 7, I didn't understand how he had found them or why Tina went back with him. After all, she was in public. Go get help, run away, steal the boys out of the car. But my adult mind understands that with the cycle of abuse, it can take victims up to 7 times on average to leave their abusers. And that's only if they're able to escape with their lives. So now that I've effectively brought the vibes down, let me pitch something to you. A video about abuse changes nothing, but a video about rebuilding a crushed spirit can change everything. I don't have to tell you how bleak our world is right now. The news cycle is dominated by the brokenness of people, leading to more brokenness in our world. And yet, we hear stories of healing, transformation, and the possibilities when faith is in action. Supernatural power that causes people to change their lives, to rebuild their communities, to sow seeds of hope. In What's Love, Tina turns to Buddhism as her power to leave Ike and reclaim her identity. And though my grandmother snatched those beads from me, she was sure to point me to the source of all things, the Creator God, the God of the Bible. Now, I won't argue in the comments about my belief in Jesus, but I encourage you to share what you believe down below. What I will say is this: walking through a difficult life with any hope in a hereafter is fairy tales to some, but it's life after death to others. I'm confident that a movie like this doesn't have to be extreme to get the point across. This culture is not subtle. We've seen abuse, brutality, lording power over others. It's always evil, but is it not indicative of our cultural heart posture? The lies we say in public while our private lives lie in ruin and despair. The movie teaches us that the more that we stomach depravity, the more we crave it. The more we eat on the decadence of talent and celebrity without asking how we might protect gifted people from their own arrogance, the more we feel the sugar crash of our moral decay. But if we're willing to consume goodness and redemption in our media diets, we don't need to feed on each other. We can actually heal. We can feed each other. Besides, everybody's gotta eat.